The Surface Pro is everything we've ever wanted from Microsoft's Surface line. It fixes the few remaining problems from the Surface Pro 4, a machine that we really liked. And yet, it's far less exciting than its predecessors. It's Microsoft's second incremental upgrade since the Pro 3, and in a way it feels like we've seen all of this before. The Surface Pro doesn't look significantly different from the previous two models, even though a lot has changed under the hood. That's not a bad thing. The slim metallic case is still pretty attractive, and Microsoft has also rounded out its edges a bit so it's more comfortable to hold. There's also the iconic Surface kickstand, which can now be lowered even further to 165 degrees, something that Microsoft calls Studio Mode. Much like the Surface Studio's lowest position, it's an ideal orientation for digital artists to draw in. And it feels even better than the Surface Pro 4's lowest point. If you haven't used the Surface before, its kickstand might take some getting used to. It's easy enough to use on a flat surface, but it's trickier on your lap, especially if you're resting it against your bare legs. Once again, the Surface Pro packs in a gorgeous 12.3-inch display with a sharp 267 pixels per inch. Text, photos, and video all look great. Colors are bold, and it's bright enough to withstand direct sunlight. Its 3:2 aspect ratio will leave black bars at the top and bottom of widescreen videos, though. The Surface Pro packs in Intel's 7th generation CPUs, which, in addition to being faster than the last model, also adds new features like hardware 4K decoding. Another plus, the mid-range Core i5 model is also fanless now, like the entry-level Core M3 variant, making it slightly lighter and much quieter. That's a pretty big deal, since that Core i5 chip is a full-fledged dual-core CPU, not an underpowered processor like some other fanless designs. When it comes to ports, not much has changed. There's only a single USB 3.0 jack, a mini display port, a microSD card slot tucked underneath the kickstand, a headphone jack, and the power connection. Just like with the Surface laptop, it's disappointing to see Microsoft skip on USB-C, which would make its machines more versatile and easier to charge. While the Surface Pro is technically a tablet on its own, it transforms into a full laptop experience with its keyboard accessories. The new cloth-like Alcantara keyboard feels slightly improved from the last model, with a satisfying amount of depth to every key press. The keyboards are still sold separately for $130 though, and you'll have to shell out $160 if you want the more premium Alcantara covering. And while Microsoft unveiled a new pen to go alongside the Surface Pro, it's no longer included in the box, and it's more expensive than before at $100. The new pen features 4,096 levels of pressure, double the previous version, and it's even more useful for artists since you can tilt it to the side to shade in your drawings. Performance-wise, the Surface Pro feels on par with most other ultra-portables, including the Surface laptop. Most importantly, it never felt like I was settling for a lesser experience, which is more than I can say for the iPad Pro or any Android hybrid tablets. Since it runs Windows 10 Pro, you can install any Windows application and they'll run just fine. It kept up with my daily workflow, but given that it's relying on integrated graphics, don't expect to play any heavy-duty games. And while the Surface Pro is a bit heavier than a typical tablet at around 1.7 pounds, it's still comfortable to use it as one for reading comics and ebooks. The lightweight also makes it practically disappear in your bag when you're on the go. Versatility has always been Microsoft's goal with the Surface line, and this is clearly the company's most successful entry yet. The biggest improvement here is in battery life. While the Pro 4 lasted for 7 hours and 15 minutes during our battery test, which put it on the low end for ultra portables, the Surface Pro kept going for 13 hours and 40 minutes. Now it's in the class of notebooks like the MacBook Air and Surface Laptop that can take anywhere without worrying about a charger. The Surface Pro starts at $799 with a Core M3 processor and a paltry amount of RAM and storage. But if you were going to get one, I suggest saving up for the $1299 Core i5 model with 8GB of RAM and a 256GB SSD. Yes, that's a lot of money, especially when you add another $100 for the pen and $130 for a keyboard. I've long argued that Microsoft should be bundling keyboards with the Surface Pros, but this year it's taking a step even further backwards. The pricing makes a bit more sense when compared directly to laptops, but laptops also come with keyboards. You can do better, Microsoft. With all of its improvements, the Surface Pro sits atop the heap of hybrid tablets out there, like Lenovo's ThinkPad X1 tablet and Huawei's MateBook. But I can't help but feel like Microsoft missed an opportunity to show the competition how it's done. As it stands, the Surface Pro is a fantastic machine, but it's not enough of an improvement for Surface Pro 4 owners to upgrade. And it's strange to see it's becoming even pricier when Microsoft should be focusing on attracting more consumers. Perhaps the company was more focused on the Surface laptop this year, but hopefully we'll see bigger changes with the next Surface Pro.